Lisa Yasko is a member of the Ukrainian parliament. She's also part of Ukraine's delegation to the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. She's not far from the Hungarian-Ukrainian border, and she's returning to Kyiv after the Council of Europe session, which booted Russia from the assembly. Lisa, thank you for being with us again. You have, of course, not only spoken to the Council of Europe, but the European Parliament, and you're trying sort of to get them to do the things necessary to put pressure on Russia. What have you succeeded with, and what remains to be done?
I'm sure that European partners and friends became very united. Also, but also, actually, many societies advocate for oil and gas embargo, even when the governments are reluctant, which gives me a great hope that sooner or later, even in such countries as Germany and Austria that are quite dependent on the Russian economy right now, they will do this and they will cut all the trade ties with Russia. This is what we are asking, because we understand that we cannot finance Russian terrorism and war crimes against Ukraine anymore.
Tell me about the war crimes part, because that was part of your conversation, and it's been part of the conversation that Ukrainian members of parliament and your president have been having with the West. We continue to see these images of schools, of residential areas, and now shelters being targeted. Did that have an influence on the people you were meeting with, either at the Council of Europe or the European Parliament?
Definitely. There are even a comparison with genocide, Holocaust. One nation is killing another nation without any hesitation, targeted, and even, that Putin is not even hiding it. A part of the schools and hospitals, maternity wards, they also target nuclear plants, which is incredibly dangerous, because we understand that we may end up in a real nuclear disaster if something even worse happens. I want to remind everyone that currently they already seized nuclear Ukrainian plants, and it's a very dangerous situation. But the question is,
I want to ask
the main question that we were discussing at different meetings, because we cannot stop the war just by providing humanitarian assistance, although, of course, it's needed. We need to think what the security cooperation and alliances do we need, what steps in the protection of our sky are needed to stop the war, to stop killings. This is the main and very important question.
When you talk about the security alliances you need to be part of, obviously one that Ukraine has taken very seriously, it's in your constitution, is joining NATO. This week, your president has said that is an aspiration that you in Ukraine are prepared to give up. At the same time, Russia has said that it can agree to an independent Ukraine that does not have any alliances with anyone. Tell me how you make sense of those things.
Well, as we say, we cannot make any compromises with the human lives, with our territory. But if it's a question of alliances, of course, we are open for discussion and for dialogue. If there are international guarantees that can be provided by other states, that our security will be protected. But in a real terms, not like it happened, unfortunately, to us in Ukraine almost 3.5 weeks ago. Regarding Russia, honestly, I'm not so optimistic. I think they are in a very crazy mind when there are no explanation with any common sense and any logic. If they would agree and stop killing people, if Ukraine says no to NATO, I would be the most happiest person in the world. But unfortunately, I think that Putin wants more, and we shouldn't have illusions about that, because that number of killed people that he already committed, and that crimes and ruined infrastructure of Ukraine, I think he's just enjoying to see that someone is so suffering and that the cities simply almost don't exist anymore. So I think it goes beyond the NATO question. But of course, NATO is one of the key elements that really can help to reach possible ceasefire and peace. I really hope so, but I don't think it would be enough for Russia at this moment.
Lisa Yasko, we have to remind people that you and your colleagues who are members of parliament are also working to change world opinion. You are taking up arms. You are working with your fellow Ukrainians. It's pretty impressive. Thanks very much again for taking the time out to talk to us. Lisa Yasko is a member of the Ukrainian parliament. I just wanted to